Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into the wild, kind of chaotic world of crypto. It's a market that feels like it's exploding and being built up at the exact same time. It's a total contradiction. So let's try and make some sense of it all. All right, so on one hand, you've got these headlines that just make your stomach drop, right? $250 billion just gone, wiped from the crypto market in a single day. That is a staggering amount of money to vanish.
But then you flip the coin, and on the very same day, you see this. These brand new spot Bitcoin ETFs, the ones that make it super easy for basically anyone to invest in actual Bitcoin, they hit the market. And boom, over $1 billion in trading in the first 30 minutes. That's not just interest, that's an absolute explosion of investment.
So how can both of these things be true? What is actually going on? Is this whole thing just in a chaotic free-fall, or is it being built brick by brick into the very foundation of our financial system? Okay, let's dig into both sides of this story.
All right, first up, let's talk about the chaos. This is the story you hear all the time, defined by just breathtaking volatility. And let's be honest, for a lot of people, some pretty massive financial losses.
And yeah, the signs of that chaos are pretty clear. You see all the major indicators just flashing red. Flagship assets like Bitcoin taking these huge tumbles, dipping below price points that make even the most seasoned investors start to sweat a little.
But here's where it gets really interesting. You got to look at the context. Now, while that $250 billion crypto loss is, enormous, it happened on the same day the traditional U.S. stock market lost over $700 billion. So this isn't just a crypto thing. It was part of a much, much bigger market-wide storm. Okay, so now let's flip to the other side of the coin. Forget the chaos for a second. While all that turbulence is happening in the markets, there's this really powerful push for integration, and it's coming from the very highest levels of government. You've got key political figures out there really championing the industry. Take Senator Cynthia Lummis, for example. She's not talking about crypto as some risky thing we need to contain. No, she's framing it as the future of finance, something that banks and other traditional players better start embracing or they'll get left behind.
And look, this isn't just talk, not by a long shot. This sentiment is turning into real, major legislative action. The senator is co-sponsoring what's being called a landmark bill, one that's designed to create a whole rulebook for digital assets. It's basically building the formal foundation for the entire market.
Now, this push in Congress is happening at the same time as a huge shift in tone from the White House. The Trump administration is framing its approach as, and I'm quoting here, officially ending the Biden administration's war on the cryptocurrency industry. That's a massive policy reversal.
And this quote really captures the administration's grand vision, doesn't it? The goal isn't just to, tolerate crypto. It's for the United States to become the undisputed global leader, the world's Bitcoin superpower. That's a huge statement of intent. So all this political momentum is acting like a huge tailwind, and it's fueling this wave of big-name corporate adoption. We're seeing these real-world bridges being built, connecting the crypto world with all these traditional legacy industries.
And hey, we're not talking about little startups here. We're talking about major players. You've got giants in global finance like Mastercard partnering up with a crypto firm like Ripple. And then you have talks about Cardano's tech potentially being used by SpaceX. It doesn't get much bigger than that.
And the tech itself is actually evolving to meet these new demands from big institutions. You have projects like Cardano's Midnight, which is being designed specifically for this. It's a kind of public-private hybrid, so it can give you the transparency of a public blockchain, but, and this is key, it can also protect the sensitive data that big corporations and governments need to keep private. It's like getting the best of both worlds.
And the money behind all this? It's just staggering. Take Ripple, for instance. They're not just landing partnerships, they're raising $500 million in new funding at a $40 billion valuation. That's the kind of number that screams serious confidence from the big players. Which brings us right back to where we started. That central question. How on earth do you make sense of these two powerful, totally opposing forces? You've got market chaos on one side, and this systematic construction on the other, happening at the exact same time.
The key takeaway is that this tension, that is the story of crypto right now. You just can't look at one side without the other. This extreme market volatility is happening in parallel with this accelerating political support and deep corporate adoption. Both things are happening. Both are true.
So that leaves us with the big critical question, right? We're literally watching a battle between two realities play out. Is the market's wild volatility going to end up sabotaging all this progress? Or will the steady march of adoption from governments and corporations win out and completely reshape our financial world? That right there is the multi-trillion-dollar question.